All right, what's up, everybody? We're live.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to an impromptu pre-game episode of Sweat the Bet. I am Andrew Kim, aka the Parlay Doc on Twitter. This is my co-host Matt Modi. What is up, Matt?
What's up? I'm excited. Game 3, 1-1 series. Can't ask for anything better than that.
There we go. There we go. And as always, the Sweat the Bet podcast series and live streams are brought to you by OddsJam. If you are not a subscriber to OddsJam, I know I'm getting repetitive, but it doesn't matter because you can't get repetitive when it comes to making money. So if you want to have the edge to make some money, make the smartest bets possible, increase the chances of profit, you got to check out oddsjam.com. Powerful tools for you as a sports bettor, positive EV alerts, easy line shopping, easy bet tracking. Why put in all the effort to do this stuff manually? All these spreadsheets, just use OddsJam. Check it out, guys. It's awesome. So, all right, Matt. So we are going to dive straight into betting because the clock is ticking. Tip off is coming in about 18 minutes. So let's talk game 3. First off, what are some impressions? What were some lasting impressions you had from game 2? What did you take away from that?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because game 1, everyone was saying, "Oh, the Celtics won and Tatum only had 13 points," and I was kind of on the other side, yeah, Tatum had 13 points, but Brown, Horford, Smart, and Derek White combined for 80 something of the Celtics,
True.
80 points. And I was like, what's the bigger outlier? You would rather have 4 players go off than 1 player. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
I never really bought into the Warriors being in trouble specifically because Tatum had a bad game and the Celtics still won.
Sure.
So then in game 2, exactly what happened, what I thought would happen happened. Tatum went off. The rest of the Celtics role players didn't. The Warriors won by 19 or something. I think overall the biggest impression I have is just it seems like the Celtics keep losing Steph Curry on offense, which I don't understand how that happens. It happened. I mean, in the first quarter, game 1, he had 6 3-pointers, and then they kind of cleaned that up. Quarters 2 through 4, he only had 1. But then it felt like it happened again in the third quarter of game 2, where Curry had, I think, 14 of his 29 points in that third quarter. He had 3 3-pointers, and I remember 2 of them specifically came on situations where it was either a transition, the Celtics had a turnover, Steph Curry ran up and just pulled up and hit a 3. But either way, it just seems like as good as the Celtics defense is, it seems like there's random miscommunications where they just leave Curry.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's weird. It's like I thought the Celtics would look how they looked in game 2. I thought that's how they would look in game 1. So I almost feel like the games were kind of flipped, and that threw me off. I'll admit I take my L's when I have them. I rode the Horford train because I knew he wasn't gonna go off for like a million threes again. That part I knew, but I was like, damn, over 11 and a half points, and I rode that train. He didn't even take a single shot. So a single three. To the Golden State Warriors' credit, they really adjusted. I mean, they said,
did.
look, we're not going to give you. If you looked at the stats and what is considered quote unquote unguarded, open 3-pointers, he had a ton in game 1. And then when you look at game 2, I don't know if he even did he take 1 3? Maybe he didn't even take a single 3, but basically they shut him down and they did adjust to that. So I got screwed because I picked the wrong game to ride the Horford train, where he basically did nothing in terms of offense. I think he took his first shot or field goal attempt, even in the second half or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. So
yeah, he was 1 of 4, no 3-pointers attempted.
Yeah. So, we always talk about, it's a cliche to adjustments. They really made some adjustments that game. And then they said, look, we still want someone else besides Tatum to beat us, but we're also going to try our best to actually guard people this time and not give them open looks. And they really did that. They committed to that, and the stats backed it up. They really did. So I'm interested to see. So what further, chess match kind of moves are going to be made by both coaches. Both coaches seem to be great. And to kind of ride your theme, I'm looking into this game 3, and this is kind of starting to preview into some of the bets we'll be talking about in just a minute. I feel like the Celtics just really, really have to sell out and just say, look, not just in name or theory, but you're going to have to sell out and say Curry's not going to score tonight. And just literally, I know we talk about it all the time, but you got to just force someone else to beat you. And in my mind, those complementary scorers just haven't really had, none of them haven't had an explosion really. So I just feel like you got to sell out on Curry tonight and just be like, screw it. We'll just let someone shoot. Maybe they'll get some open looks. So, that's kind of leading into, I'm probably going to, one of the bets that I kind of took in the time I had to research today, I'm actually going to probably ride on Steph Curry assists, even though I'm not like 100% like sold on it. But this might be the game where the Celtics are like, screw it. Like, you got to have someone else beat us. And this may be the time to maybe get some value on the line for Steph Curry, where I do think there's value on that tonight. I think I missed it. I think it peaked somewhere at like plus 125-ish, I think, maybe at one point, but I caught it around plus 115 for Steph Curry over 5.5 assists on DraftKings. So, I mean, I was a little bit late because I think you could have caught it somewhere in that plus 120 range. I missed out slightly, but I think as of right now, you could still probably grab it around plus 115 or so. So that is going to be one of my bets leading up to the tip off. So I am going to take Steph Curry over 5.5 assists. Who knows? He may still get his on the scoring side of things, but I think they're really going to try to force the ball out of his hands. And obviously he's skillful enough where he could find open guys. So I'm hoping that happens tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my bets, the Steph Curry over assist, for the exact reasoning you just mentioned. We're talking about taking L's. I took one in game 2 because I faded Steph Curry, both his 3-pointers and his points, because I thought exactly what you said. I thought what happened in game 2.
Yeah.
Curry went off in game 1. He went off for 21 points in that first quarter, and then he only had, I think, 13 or 14 the rest of the game. I thought the way quarters 2 through 4 went in game 1 was how the game would go in game 2 in terms of how the Celtics would guard Steph Curry. But it seems like they kind of relapsed a little bit. So I'm with you. One of my picks was Steph Curry over 5.5 assists. I actually got it at a worse line. I got it at plus 112. You're right. It is a little bit better now. At least last I checked, it's a little bit better. I can see where it's at now. But Steph Curry over 5.5 assists, I'm with you. That was one of mine. He hasn't hit it. So it's plus 115. You can get it at plus 115.
Yeah. I got it at plus 115. So if you look at it and look to be, clear to the audience here who's watching, the last couple games, 4 and 5. So he got 5 in game 1, 4 in game 2. So it's not like, again, budget accordingly, manage your unit size accordingly. I'm going to play 1 full unit. So for me right now, with where my bankroll is, 1 unit's about $100. So I am going to put 100 on it just to let you know, like that's the amount I'm putting, 1 full unit. Again, even though, and you're going to be asking, well, he hasn't hit it at all. But that's where I see the value. I see like, if it's going to happen, I feel like the Celtics, if they don't want to lose a game at home, they got to lock him down. So in my mind, from a strategy standpoint, tonight's the night where you lock him down. So let's see if Steph Curry could find the open man. Let's see if it actually happens. If they don't lock him down, then I'm not sure what the strategy is from the Celtics standpoint. So.
Yeah. I just don't understand, like, in game 3, that third quarter, like there's a play where they ran a pick and roll and Robert Williams was kind of dropped back a little bit and Curry just splashed a 3 right in his grill. It's like, dude, like, this, get up. You have to step up on him. So, I mean, Udoka's a good coach. I think he's going to come up with adjustments specifically for Curry. That's one of them. Another one I had, while we're on the topic of Steph Curry, this one is kind of cheeky, but I took him to go over 1.5 steals and blocks.
1.5 steals and blocks.
So I got this one. It's BetMGM at minus 110. So he's actually hit this in 3 games in a row. He's had exactly 3 of each of these stats, 3 games in a row.
Oh, shit. You're right. Wow. And that's surprising.
Yeah. You don't think about that with Curry. Like, you don't think about him as getting up steals and blocks. This is mostly a steals play, to be fair.
Sure.
Maybe he happens to get lucky and get 1 block. But Curry's always been kind of good at jumping passing lanes. And he's always been kind of had quick-handed in terms of poking the ball out. And at the rate the Celtics turn the ball over, I think that's kind of why he's had a couple steals. So we had 3 in game 1, 3 in game 2. Minus 110 odds, I think, is pretty good value. So that was one of the ones. This was like a smaller. I use my unit sizing a little differently. Like the max I'll do is a 5-unit play for me, and that's 125. I'd put 2 units on this one. I wasn't super confident on it, but I did put. So I put $50 on this one. I'll Curry over 1.5 steals and blocks.
So interesting. Okay. And what were the odds on that?
Minus 110.
Minus 110. Okay. Because if you're going, I'm just suggesting out there, if you're going for steals and blocks, okay. So you said over 1.5. Because if you just do steals, right? Because if you're saying that this has primarily been, those stats are primarily him getting steals. Because when I look at it, he got 3 steals, 2 steals, and a block, it looks like. So
Yeah, that's right.
out of those 3 games, 2 of them were all steals. So if you just do if you get 2+ steals, not including block, if you just do 2 steals, which, yeah, I know you don't get the benefit of the block then, but you can also, if you don't like that part, you could do 2 steals for plus 136 on FanDuel. And I don't have the line shopping in front of me right now, but you could take a slightly different angle for those who are listening if you want to just do steals and if you don't want to do steals plus blocks. But
Yeah,
you don't,
plus
obviously, you don't get the benefit of the block if he gets that lucky block. So
yeah, it's plus 150 on Caesar, so you could even get a little bit of a better line.
Plus 150 on Caesar. There you go.
That's true. That's true. You yeah, that's a good point. You don't get the benefit, like you said, of that block, but you can get significantly better odds.
Yeah, significantly better. So it's up to you guys. If you want to tail Matt on that, or if you want to take a slightly different approach and say screw the blocks, I'm just going to go for the steals. You can get those plus odds. Matt said plus 150 on Caesar. That's pretty juicy. So I wonder maybe in the next 8 minutes. So
people want to lock that in.
Yeah. So my other kind of straight bet that I'm going to do for tonight. And again, guys, I have a Warriors future. So I want to be clear. I'm rooting for the Warriors. So I really want them to win because I might get $2,000 in profit. So, but I am going to play. And I was torn on this one because I was debating between what number I should get. So I am going to take Celtics first half. And
I like that.
I was really sitting here debating between -2.5 at it's at -110 on like Caesars, -110 on DraftKings. And then, or you could take -1.5, but then, it's -130 at that line at a lot of books. So I took the -2.5 and I'm just going, if I figure, God, if they're going to roll, they'll just roll. So I'm taking Celtics first half spread -2.5 at -110 for the time being, but I was debating. So I just want to let you know, right now, because there's money fluctuating, a lot of money's coming in from the public. Like you could catch it either at -1.5 or -2.5, depending on what number you kind of like. So, but I am taking Celtics -2.5 first half. So,
yeah, I like that one. I like that. While we're talking straights, I took this earlier in the week because the total opened at 215, and then by Monday morning it was at 212. So people have just been hammering the under. So I thought it was going to continue to go under. So I got the total under 212. It's actually so that ended up not beating the closing line. The value wasn't there, but I do think in general this game does go under. I was like the scoring that happened in game 1, I thought was an outlier. Like at the rate that the two teams shot the 3-pointer, I think is a total outlier. And I think game 2 is more likely what's going to happen moving forward. So while the line I got it at didn't end up beating the closing line, like right now, if you want to bet the total, it's set at about like 213, 214.5. But I do love the under in this game for that reason.
Okay. All right. The under. Okay, we got 6 minutes left until theoretical tip-off if they actually start on time. But any other bets that you got going right now, Matt?
Yeah, I'll just blow through it. So I did a money or a player prop video this morning. So the 2 we already talked about: Curry assists, Curry point, or Curry steals and blocks. The last one that I took was Jason Tatum over 6.5 rebounds. So this is one. The odds weren't great. I got it at -118, and he hasn't gone over this total yet in games 1 and 2. Game 1 was kind of weird. Like he was just weirdly passive in game 1. His scoring total was low. He had a ton of assists, but he didn't seem super aggressive, which I thought was interesting. Game 2, he was on track to hit it, but he played limited minutes because of the blowout. So he had exactly 6. So I don't think tonight's going to be a blowout. I think Tatum will be engaged. So I put another small 2-unit play on Tatum over 6.5 rebounds as my third player prop.
I like it. I'm curious, when you got that at that line, was that a slight positive EV play?
Yeah, I got it directly from the positive EV.
Yeah, see, guys, that's what I want to advise you guys. See that's the difference, right? Because look, I like the play, but I'm looking at it right now. The best I'm finding is -135, -136, and see that's the difference, guys. When you have these positive EV alerts from OddsJam, Matt caught that earlier today, right? And that's, if you're not sleeping, you pay attention to the alerts, and if you like that line and you see that it's positive EV, you jump on it like that, okay? And see, that's the difference. I like it, but I don't know if I'm going to take it now because it's like I said, minus 135 on DraftKings, minus 130, looks like minus 136, minus 130. It's fluctuating a little on FanDuel.
Check Caesars. I see it at minus 120.
Caesars, okay. So,
Yeah.
but that's just an example, guys, of what we're talking about. Like that's the advantage of having access to these tools where you get those alerts immediately and you can kind of jump on the ones that you like. So
Yeah.
I like that though. I really do. I really like the rationale because look, I think you have to factor in context, right? Getting close, but then like, blowout, doesn't need to put max effort, first game. Again, I mean, they were winning. He doesn't have to have the foot on the gas the entire time. So look, tonight, if it's a good game, if it's a competitive game and it's not lopsided in either direction, he's going to get a lot of minutes. Robert Williams still obviously not full strength. All these factors.
He's banged up.
He's banged up. And sometimes look, I mean, like even like a Horford, he gets stretched, right? They pull him out with Draymond, all these other guys, like they try to pull him away from the paint. That look, Tatum's going to have his opportunities. So I do like it, and that's why I'm kind of sitting here debating if I'm going to take that minus 120 or not. But I like the angle. So if you guys want to think about that, I would say that's a pretty good angle on that Tatum prop. So
yeah.
What else you got?
Last prediction I had, and this one I actually haven't taken publicly on any like YouTube channel or Twitter,
Sure.
but I did take the Warriors money line. That is going to be added to my official bet slip when I end up posting this, because now I'm saying it. But I did take the Warriors money line. I think I got it at plus 140. I think those are still the best odds.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. That's
nice. The Celtics haven't been the home juggernaut that people expect. They I think they were I saw they're 9-8 at home or something like that. I forget the exact stat, but they haven't been performing super well at home. And I just think that the Warriors, I think whatever happened in game one, I think was an outlier. It was mostly that fourth quarter. I mean, it was all that fourth quarter where the Celtics made 9 of 11 threes at one point. It was just absurd. So I think that game two, not that I think it's going to be a blowout, but I think game two is more similar how things are going to go moving forward. I do think this is going to be a long series, but I like the Warriors tonight.
Okay. All right, last two things we're going to do, guys, okay? We're going to do I believe in last-minute mojo. I really do. I think there's something to last-minute degeneracy. So right now on our live stream, let's just, without even too much thinking, this is going to be a gut SGP that I'm going to build with input from Matt as we speak. I'm going to do it right here, right now. So I'm going to roll, okay, first leg right here, right now. Jason Tatum over 6.5 rebounds. I'm gonna roll with that. Okay, so give me another gut one. The one that you've been debating, you've been on the fence, but you're like, my gut likes this. Give me one. I don't care if it's points, assists, rebounds. Give me one, Matt. Give me one.
Curry assists, I think is something that you should, because we talked about that one. I think that's a good one to add.
Curry assists, and give me one more. Give me another.
So I am fading the point total. I'm going back to the well. I don't think Steph Curry is going to have another 30-point game. I take him to go under 28.5.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll do it. Like I said, we're just going to go with gut here. We're going to go with gut. So under 28.5. Okay. I'm going to add, oh my God. Okay. I'm going to go with Jaylen Brown. Hope he has not a dud of a game in front of the home crowd. So I'm going to go with Jaylen Brown over 23.5. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it.
I like it. So I'm going to take this. I'm taking this exact one. I'm adding one more. Give me the one more. This is DJ. Sure I recommend it.
It's okay. Sure last minute
Jason
mojo.
Jason Tatum under.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. Hold on. Let me do. I'll fine. I'll roll with it. Brown's gonna go off. Tatum under. Okay, holy shit, guys. So last minute degen mojo. Those 5 legs. Tatum over 6.5 boards. Curry over 5.5 assists. Steph Curry under 28.5, Tatum under 27.5, Jaylen Brown over 23.5, plus 23.98, plus 2,398 on FanDuel. I'm going to throw a solid $25.
I did the same thing. I put 25 on it. I had a free bet. I put 25 on it.
There we go. Last minute degeneracy, last minute mojo, guys. That's what we're calling it. Last minute mojo. And then my last question before we sign off for this tip-off, is Draymond going to get ejected tonight? Yes or no? What is your answer?
I say yes, because it's in Boston.
Okay. All right. I'm rolling with yes. I think he's been at the tipping point.
Begging for
yeah. If there was a line on this, I'm sure yes would be like minus 180 or something. I bet.
Yeah.
So But I am going to roll with it. So I think, I mean, I have probably a couple minutes before they tip off, but I might just put in a Draymond unders, like under assists, under rebounds, under points.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean,
he gets frazzled in the first half, maybe. So I might do a Draymond unders play, guys, just because I think he's been right on the cusp of getting ejected. I don't know. Just got a gut feeling on that. Got a gut feeling.
Tackle 4 more people.
All right, guys. Any last minute thoughts, man, before we sign off and let everyone enjoy the game?
No, I'm just the last minute mojo worked last time we did this when you had that the Horford, I believe, 20 plus points or whatever it was.
Yeah, so you suggested it and I bet it. So that's why I wanted the last minute Matt Modi degeneracy. So
yes. I like it. No, so I'm hoping that we'll continue the good mojo of the last minute degeneracy, like you said.
Let's go, guys. So everyone, thanks, guys, for those of you who've been tuning in and out, who stayed all the way through. Good luck on your bets. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know how the night's going. We'll complain together. We'll be joyous together. Let's try to make a little bit of money. Let's try to stay on the green side of profit tonight, guys. So good luck, and stay tuned for our upcoming episodes of Sweat the Bet. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.